Obama was born in Honolulu, Hawaii. He graduated from Columbia University in 1983 with a Bachelor of Arts degree in Political Science and later worked as a community organizer in Chicago. In 1988, Obama enrolled in Harvard Law School, where he was the first black president of the Harvard Law Review. He became a civil rights attorney and an academic, teaching constitutional law at the University of Chicago Law School from 1992 to 2004. He also went into elective politics. Obama represented the 13th District in the Illinois Senate from 1997 until 2004, when he successfully ran for the U.S. Senate. In 2008, after a close primary campaign against Hillary Clinton, he was nominated by the Democratic Party for president and chose Delaware Senator Joe Biden as his running mate. Obama was elected president, defeating Republican Party nominee John McCain in the presidential election, and was inaugurated on January 20, 2009. 9 months later he was named the 2009 Nobel Peace Prize laureate, a decision that drew a mixture of criticism and praise. Obama's first-term actions addressed the global financial crisis and included a major stimulus package to guide the economy in recovering from the Great Recession, a partial extension of George W. Bush's tax cuts, legislation to reform health care, a major financial regulation reform bill, and the end of a major U.S. military presence in Iraq. Obama also appointed Supreme Court Justices Sonia Sotomayor and Elena Kagan, the former being the first Hispanic American on the Supreme Court. He ordered the counter-terrorism raid which killed Osama bin Laden and downplayed Bush's counterinsurgency model, expanding airstrikes and making extensive use of special forces, while encouraging greater reliance on host government militaries. Obama also ordered military involvement in Libya in order to implement UN Security Council Resolution 1973, contributing to the overthrow of Muammar Gaddafi. After winning re-election by defeating Republican opponent Mitt Romney, Obama was sworn in for a second term on January 20, 2013. In his second term, Obama took steps to combat climate change, signing a major international climate agreement and an executive order to limit carbon emissions. Obama also presided over the implementation of the Affordable Care Act and other legislation passed in his first term. He negotiated a nuclear agreement with Iran and normalized relations with Cuba. The number of American soldiers in Afghanistan fell dramatically during Obama's second term, though U.S. soldiers remained in the country throughout Obama's presidency. Obama promoted inclusion for LGBT Americans, and during his presidency the Supreme Court struck down same-sex marriage bans as unconstitutional in Obergefell v. Hodges. Obama left office on January 20, 2017, and continues to reside in Washington, D.C. His presidential library in Chicago began construction in 2021. Since leaving office, Obama has remained very active in Democratic politics, campaigning for candidates in various American elections, such as his former Vice President Joe Biden in his successful bid for president in 2020. Outside of politics, Obama has published 3 best-selling books: Dreams from My Father 1995, The Audacity of Hope 2006, and A Promised Land 2020. Historians and political scientists rank him among the upper tier in historical rankings of American presidents. 1. Obama was born on August 4, 1961, 2. At Kapiolani Medical Center for Women and Children in Honolulu, Hawaii. 3, 4, 5, 6. He is the only president born outside the contiguous 48 states. 7. He was born to an American mother and a Kenyan father. His mother, Ann Dunham (1942–1995), was born in Wichita, Kansas and was of English, Welsh, German, Swiss, and Irish descent. In 2007 it was discovered her great-great-grandfather Falmouth Carney emigrated from the village of Moneygall, Ireland to the US in 1850. 8 In July 2012, Ancestry.com found a strong likelihood that Dunham was descended from John Punch, an enslaved African man who lived in the colony of Virginia during the 17th century. 910 Obama's father, Barack Obama Sr. 1934 to 1982, 1112 was a married 13-14-15 Luo Kenyan from Niang Omakoglo. 1316 His last name, Obama, was derived from his Luo descent. 17 Obama's parents met in 1960 in a Russian language class at the University of Hawaii at Manoa, where his father was a foreign student on a scholarship. 1819 The couple married in Wailuku, Hawaii, on February 2, 1961, 6 months before Obama was born. 2021. In late August 1961, a few weeks after he was born, Barack and his mother moved to the University of Washington in Seattle, where they lived for a year. During that time, Barack's father completed his undergraduate degree in economics in Hawaii, graduating in June 1962. He left to attend graduate school on a scholarship at Harvard University, where he earned an MA in economics. Obama's parents divorced in March 1964. 22 Obama Sr. returned to Kenya in 1964, where he married for a third time and worked for the Kenyan government as the senior economic analyst in the Ministry of Finance. 23 He visited his son in Hawaii only once, at Christmas 1971, 24 before he was killed in an automobile accident in 1982, when Obama was 21 years old. 25 Recalling his early childhood, Obama said, that my father looked nothing like the people around me, that he was black as pitch, my mother white as milk, barely registered in my mind. 19 He described his struggles as a young adult to reconcile social perceptions of his multiracial heritage. 26. In 1963, Dunham met Lolo Soetoro at the University of Hawaii. He was an Indonesian East-West Center graduate student in geography. The couple married on Molokai on March 15, 1965. 27 After 2 one-year extensions of his J-1 visa, Lolo returned to Indonesia in 1966. His wife and stepson followed 16 months later in 1967. The family initially lived in the Mentong Dalam neighborhood in the Tebes district of South Jakarta. From 1970, they lived in a wealthier neighborhood in the Mentong district of Central Jakarta. 28. Education. Scan of Obama's elementary school record, where he is wrongly recorded as Indonesian and Muslim. Obama's Indonesian school record in St. Francis of Assisi Catholic Elementary School. Obama was enrolled as Barry Soetoro No. 1, and was wrongly recorded as an Indonesian citizen No. 3 and a Muslim No. 4. 29. At the age of 6, Obama and his mother had moved to Indonesia to join his stepfather. From age 6 to 10, he was registered in school as Barry 29 and attended local Indonesian language schools, Sekolah Dasar Katolik Santo Franciscus Assisi St. Francis of Assisi Catholic Elementary School for 2 years and Sekolah Dasar Negeri Mentong 01 State Elementary School Mentong 01 for 1.5 years, supplemented by English language Calvert School homeschooling by his mother. 30-31 As a result of his 4 years in Jakarta, he was able to speak Indonesian fluently as a child. 32 During his time in Indonesia, Obama's stepfather taught him to be resilient and gave him a pretty hard-headed assessment of how the world works. 33. In 1971, Obama returned to Honolulu to live with his maternal grandparents. He attended Punahou School, a private college preparatory school with the aid of a scholarship from 5th grade until he graduated from high school in 1979. 34 In high school, Obama continued to use the nickname Barry, which he kept until making a visit to Kenya in 1980. 35 Obama lived with his mother and half-sister, Maya Soetoro, in Hawaii for 3 years from 1972 to 1975 while his mother was a graduate student in anthropology at the University of Hawaii. 36 Obama chose to stay in Hawaii when his mother and half-sister returned to Indonesia in 1975, so his mother could begin anthropology field work. 37 His mother spent most of the next 2 decades in Indonesia, divorcing Lolo Soetoro in 1980 and earning a PhD degree in 1992, before dying in 1995 in Hawaii following unsuccessful treatment for ovarian and uterine cancer. 38. Of his years in Honolulu, Obama wrote, "The opportunity that Hawaii offered to experience a variety of cultures in a climate of mutual respect became an integral part of my worldview, and a basis for the values that I hold most dear." 39 Obama has also written and talked about using alcohol, marijuana, and cocaine during his teenage years to push questions of who I was out of my mind. 40 Obama was also a member of the Chum Gang, the slang term for smoking marijuana, a self-named group of friends who spent time together and smoked marijuana. 41-42. College and research jobs. After graduating from high school in 1979, Obama moved to Los Angeles to attend Occidental College on a full scholarship. In February 1981, Obama made his first public speech, calling for Occidental to participate in the disinvestment from South Africa in response to that nation's policy of apartheid. 43 In mid-1981, Obama traveled to Indonesia to visit his mother and half-sister Maya, and visited the families of college friends in Pakistan for 3 weeks. 43 Later in 1981, he transferred to Columbia University in New York City as a junior, where he majored in political science with a specialty in international relations 44 and in English literature 45 and lived off campus on West 109th Street. 46 He graduated with a Bachelor of Arts degree in 1983 and a 3.7 GPA. After graduating, Obama worked for about a year at the Business International Corporation, where he was a financial researcher and writer, 47-48 then as a project coordinator for the New York Public Interest Research Group on the City College of New York campus for 3 months in 1985. 49-50-51. Community organizer and Harvard Law School. 2 years after graduating from Columbia, Obama moved from New York to Chicago when he was hired as director of the Developing Communities Project, a faith-based community organization originally comprising 8 Catholic parishes in Roseland, West Pullman, and Riverdale on Chicago's South Side. He worked there as a community organizer from June 1985 to May 1988. 50-52 He helped set up a job training program, a college preparatory tutoring program, and a tenants' rights organization in Altgeld Gardens. 53 Obama also worked as a consultant and instructor for the Gamaliel Foundation, a community organizing institute. 54 In mid-1988, he traveled for the first time in Europe for 3 weeks and then for 5 weeks in Kenya, where he met many of his paternal relatives for the first time.